Osawatomie is the city of history and promise. And we're kind of looking at the history here. Recently, we started at the high school a Hall of Fame. And so I'm going to try my best to talk to all the Hall of Fame members as they get inducted. And the first of the Hall of Fame series that I get to talk to is Taylor Soucie. I'm excited to see what she has to say. Taylor, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Oh, excellent. And it's Taylor Llewellyn, is that right?
That's correct.
Excellent. Formerly Taylor Soucie. Am I saying this
Yes.
correctly? Yeah, excellent. Well,
Yes.
here around the halls at OHS, they call you Taylor Soucie. So,
Yes.
and
Sounds about
congratulations
right.
on all of that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I've been doing a podcast series on Osawatomie for the last couple of years to learn about the character and stuff, and we recently started a Hall of Fame here at OHS, and your name was one of the first ones brought up, and in the meetings and stuff that we all got to vote, and you were voted on in the inaugural class of the Hall of Fame. How does that feel?
Well, compared to the other names up there, I'm very humbling. Yeah, so it's quite the honor for sure.
So, when did you graduate at OHS?
2013.
2013. That's fantastic. And I have all of your like stats. I mean, somebody went through and did all of the research and all of your high school
Oh
stats, and it was
boy.
amazing. So when you were here in high school, which of these major sports? Because I'm seeing track, basketball, volleyball. Like you were all over the place, man. Which of those sports was your favorite?
Well, volleyball ended up being my favorite. Yeah, I mean it's the one I played in college, but I did for thoroughly enjoy all three sports though.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And you graduated 2013 and went on to KU, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, and you played volleyball at KU, right?
Yes.
That has to be really, I mean, the volleyball outside of the Olympic stage, really the only other stage is the NCAA.
Until last year.
Really? What happened last year?
The Professional Volleyball Federation was developed. It's a pro volleyball team in the US now, or league.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's 8 teams now. Don't quote me on that. There might be a couple more added this year. And then they also are starting another professional league called League One Volleyball.
Okay.
That's another professional league that's starting this January too. So
So have you been contacted?
I'm out of the game for too long. But my coach, my assistant coach at KU is now actually the head coach of the Supernovas in Omaha. So
Oh,
you
cool.
have a little connection and I get to see her around and hear all about it a little more.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that is so cool. That is absolutely amazing. Of course, we're gonna celebrate all of your high school achievements and everything that you've done whenever you hopefully get an opportunity to come to our Hall of Fame ceremony, that we can celebrate you and all the work that you put in high school and obviously the others that are in the inaugural class. But the thing that got me, the thing that I like, I mean, we were sitting in these meetings for hours and hours and hours, and somebody goes, "Oh yeah, Taylor Soucie was the Big 12 Sports Person of the Year in 2016," and I was like, absolutely floored because that's not something they just hand out to just anybody. Like you have to be an elite athlete first and foremost, but the Big 12 Sports Person of the Year is really given to somebody who's not only really above average on the athletically, but they also do other stuff in the community. So, will you please talk to me a little bit about what you did to get the title of Sports Person of the Year in the Big 12?
Yeah, well, obviously part of it that's play, part of it's academic, and then yeah, the other part is community service. And I was a part of SAC, which is Student Athletic Advisory Committee. It's kind of like student council, but for college level
Sure.
in
Yeah.
athletics. And so there's a lot of opportunities through SAC that I was able to volunteer. Man, we did lots of different things. We did like activities with like I don't remember what we called it, junior Jayhawks maybe, and it was like a kids came and we played different sports games and things.
Nice.
We did a trunk or treat where kids came in and trick or treated. There was a lot of different things that we did through there, and then I also volunteered at the hospital. Part of that was I did need volunteer hours for graduate school as well, so I did a lot of volunteering to, to make my resume look good partially there too and get some experience. But I did volunteer a lot at the hospital, specifically in like the emergency department and then the oncology unit, cleaning rooms and getting patients ice and blankets and things. So
One thing that I don't know about you is what did you graduate with whenever you graduated from KU? What was your degree?
yeah, I graduated with my exercise science degree.
Okay.
And then
Excellent.
yeah.
And then what did you do with that degree afterwards?
Yeah, then so I did exercise science and I did a lot of prerequisites outside of that for PA school. So I went to a PA school here in Lincoln, Nebraska at Union College,
Oh, okay.
3 years, and now I'm a physician assistant. So
A physician's assistant. Congratulations. Good job.
thanks.
You're doing really well for yourself. That's amazing. Uh, it's getting into the medical field, no matter what it is. I mean, from what is it? An LPN, is that the entry level? Or
Yeah,
like
or like a CMA, yeah.
CNA? Yeah, even that.
Lots
Like
of various.
they don't. Yeah. And there's acronyms for everything.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you're in the health industry, there's more acronyms than you know what to do with. Um,
Hmm.
same in education. Uh, Not to the importance, but we do have a
That
ton
is
of
important.
acronyms. I don't know, we're not saving anybody's life. More
Maybe
than
down the road.
more than anything, I think like the most impactful thing that I do on a daily basis is hand tissues to kids who have snotty noses. I mean, that might be the most important thing I do.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, man, congratulations, good job on that. And for being the Big 12 sports person of the year, like just having that pad your resume had to be really, really good. Um, so I'm reading these words and I want to make sure I read them correctly. Did you guys win a Big 12 championship as with your volleyball team?
yeah, my senior year, the first one KU has ever won, and
The,
the only actually.
so the only time KU's won a Big 12 championship in volleyball is
Hmm.
because your senior leadership, obviously.
I don't know about that, but we had a pretty good team. But
Right.
uh,
Did you guys ever play in Allen, or is there a separate volleyball facility there that you guys
there's
played?
a separate volleyball facility. They actually just redid it in 2014, right after right after we graduated, or maybe it's
Of
2015.
course.
Or no, it's sorry, I graduated in 2017. It was 2018, I think. They finally they got it all done. But we did actually end up playing though in Allen Field House because not now, but previously when I was playing, I think like the first 2 years I played, they you had to have a certain number of seats in the facility to or in the arena for the NCAA tournament. So we hosted the first and second round in Allen Fieldhouse. So
Oh, that's cool.
we did
That's
actually,
really cool.
yeah.
And how far did you get in the NCAA tournament?
We made it to the Final Four in 2015.
Cool. How cool is that? Did you get like so I know nothing, I know absolutely nothing about what you experienced, but from what I know, when like a football team goes to a bowl game or a basketball team makes the final four, they get these like really cool gift bags or swag bags. Did you ever get a swag bag for playing with the Jayhawks?
Yeah, I mean, like when you go to the NCAA tournament, you get well, you get apparel like at the beginning of the year in general, but then yeah, when you make it to the NCAA tournament, they give you yeah, a quote unquote swag bag, I guess, like usually like a sweat outfit, a couple t-shirts and
Okay.
shoes. So
Okay.
Adidas definitely spoils you. And then yeah, when the further we went, I think we did end up getting like a few more things. So
You
yeah,
didn't get like a PlayStation or
no,
like
we didn't
an
get
Apple Watch or anything.
volleyball's not quite that level of football and basketball, but we did get like some pretty cool headphones and some nice, like really nice shoes and things. But
Yeah, absolutely. So you also ran track when you were here at Osawatomie.
mhm.
What was what was that one event where you were like the most confident? You're like, you know what, I got this. This is it. This is it for me. Like I if I only had to choose one event in track, it was going to be what? What was your one thing in track?
Man, probably the 100 hurdles.
Oh wow. 100 hurdles. Yeah, it's good. See, now running 100 meters in general or yards, it doesn't matter either way. You can't get me to do it. But then you're going to want to jump over some stuff on your way. That just
Yeah.
makes it way more complicated. Did you have like your steps down? Like it's 7 steps between each one and your kick and all that? Or were you at that
Yeah.
level in high school?
Yeah, during the 100 hurdles are, yeah, it's a three-step. It's pretty easy, pretty simple, straightforward. You just go.
Right.
I also did the 300 hurdles and then triple jump. So it's really hard to choose between all of them. I also ran the 4x4, which was really fun, but
Oh yeah.
so it's kind of hard to choose between all of those. They all have their own exciting parts to them, but
Right. Because like one of the coolest things that you have on your resume is 3 state titles.
yeah.
Yeah. What events did you get those in?
Oh man.
Was
The
it
100
was it the 100?
hurdles, 102 were in the 100 hurdles, and then the other was in the 300 hurdles, I
Yeah,
believe.
man. Congratulations, dude. You're the best for 2 years in a row. You were the best high school kid in Kansas at
And
the 100.
4A.
Yeah, but even still, it doesn't. Yeah, don't. Yeah, we're not going to diminish anything here, man. Like that is an incredible feat. Like that is a humongous feat. What was your mentality when you were in high school? And I know 8 years ago, whatever it was.
I don't even
What is that,
know.
like 10 or 11 years ago?
10,
Uh,
11 years now, yeah.
yeah. So when you were in high school and you were, you know, I'm thinking about my students now, right? Like going around first hour, second hour, got to get your homework done and all that other stuff. What was your mentality when it came to sports? Like, what did you just like block everything else out and you were like, you know what, this is it, and I'm super focused, or were you just like, I'll try it and see what happens?
Um, well, in seventh grade, I think it kind of all started in seventh grade. I went to like a volleyball, I think I went to Nebraska volleyball camp in seventh grade,
Oh,
and then
cool.
um if you know the Frenches, Mrs. French is a big into dream big, all of those sorts of things. And I think I kind of just bought in.
Right.
I'm gonna play Division 1 volleyball, and here we go. I don't, yeah, I don't think I was a kind of naive,
Right.
naive, and then just went for it.
Okay. So you just like you bought into the cliches, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So okay, when I think about like just like elite athletes, like top of their game, like Mahomes or Tom Brady or whatever like those are the types of people that like they not only do they like buy into the cliche game, but like they live the cliches. Like there's no getting around it. So is there anything to the idea of just like living your life one cliche at a time and that's just like your roadmap to success?
I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's a great question. I don't know. I get a lot of it from my dad.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much you know about our family, but he coached basketball in Osawatomie for,
Okay.
I don't know, the whole time we were there. So 20 years. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Yeah, right.
Um, and he was very into the cliches too. So, if
I
you've ever
love
heard
it.
of John Wooden, he's a big John Wooden fan. So,
Yes.
if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. If you're
Right.
preparing to fail is failing to, or
Yep,
failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
that's
Uh,
right.
all the that make every day your masterpiece. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of it makes life a little bit easier when you're just like focusing on those things. Then there's so much negativity in the world and
Oh
in
yeah.
life in general that it's um focusing on the cliches, I think made it a little bit easier to kind of just get through. If that
Yeah.
makes
Oh no,
sense.
that makes total sense. Yeah, because like I had a kid 3 or 4 days ago. Like just I'm not motivated. I don't know what to do. And so that's been rattling around in my back of my mind. Like whenever you like actively know that you're just not motivated, what do you do? And I feel like you and I just came up with the solution there, right? Just go buy into a cliche. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter which one, really, at this
Oh,
point.
anyone you want.
You just pick them all. Just pick one, right? Grab a cliche and let that motivate you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm using that. I'm absolutely going to steal that.
Well,
uh,
hopefully it
so,
helps.
yeah. So, like, what do you? I'm trying to think. Like, because basketball, obviously, now I'm finding out is a family affair.
Mhm.
Did you have like any brothers and sisters as well?
I have three brothers.
3 brothers. Oh, well, that's it then. Now we know the secrets. Yeah, that's it. You had to
That's
you
part of
had
it
to beat up
too.
3 boys
Yeah.
every day growing up. Now, are they all older, younger? You in the middle? Where?
Yeah, I have two older, one younger.
Oh, that's exactly it. I feel
Yep.
so bad for that little brother of yours because he had like that fourth kid. I mean, like just looking at what I see your accomplishments are, and knowing your dad is a basketball coach, I would imagine brother 1 and 2 were probably pretty decent athletes. And then you came along and you were like, I'm going to do everything that those two do. And so I'm guessing that you just like honed your athletic skills by playing with your older brothers. And then the three of you just beat up on that little one.
Well, he's actually the biggest out of all of us. So
Yes.
he's had his own success. He
Okay.
actually, so my oldest brother could have played college sports. He didn't end up actually doing playing any sports in college, but he could have.
Yeah.
My second brother, Brendan, he ran track at KU,
Oh,
track and
cool.
country. And
Yeah.
then so I was there. He was a senior when I was a freshman. And
Okay.
then Morgan, my youngest brother, actually played basketball at University of Kearney.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. So you actually like your freshman year at KU, you had somebody looking out.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was there with the bat on his shoulder, like, I'm gonna watch it, fellas. And he was beating up all like how was your social life that year? Was it okay?
Oh, yeah. It actually made it a little bit easier because um I mean the athlete circle is kind of small in general, and in college it kind of helps having like that circle. So I mean I wasn't quite a fish out of water
Right.
uh, as I could have been
Yeah.
probably with him. So
Well, I was at KU. I graduated in December of 2014. And from what I remember about the athletes on campus, everybody had their backpack and they had their tag with their name and their number
yeah.
and their locker and all. Like you like y'all. I say y'all as if you did the same things, but y'all stood out,
Yeah, I
right?
mean it's hard not to.
When you
You got
riding
the
the
same backpack. I'm not
yeah.
buying it one.
Exactly.
The cheap. But yeah, then it has your tag on it, and yep. And then I
That's
mean,
right.
we all have the same clothes. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's weird. So we crossed paths for 1 semester, unknowingly. You didn't happen to take college algebra from me, did you? Because that was the year I taught college algebra.
No, I think
No.
I was in Calc 1.
Obviously, you would have been a Calc 1 kid. Of course. Of
I think.
course.
I think that would have been what I was in the
Yeah.
first year.
Could you understand your math professor? Did they speak flawless
I
English?
don't remember.
Because I
I think math, yes.
okay, nice.
When I got into what class was that? Organic chemistry 1,
Oh,
maybe. I think I had a Russian professor. Could not understand.
yeah.
It was a little
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah, you're teaching yourself organic chemistry at that point.
I mean, there's a reason there's tutors and teaching assistants, but
That's right. There's a reason why they had like there's like 40 of us that were helping out in the tutor room and teaching college algebra. Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, my one of my absolute like I lived in Snow Hall, right? I absolutely lived in that building. I was a math major, so all of my
Yeah.
classes were there. Everything happened in Snow Hall for me. And I just I just remember seeing like maybe two people that were native English speakers, and all the rest of them, you really like you would just squint your eyes and hope that you just could read what they would write because there's no chance I could
Yeah.
understand a word they were saying. Oh, it's too good.
Oh,
That's way too good. So I first of all, thank you so much for giving me a lot of your time, and I really, really appreciate you making time for me today and letting me pepper you with some random questions. But my thing that I've really been like trying to understand the most about this town is to kind of look at the character of the town, like what makeup, what qualities does this town have, and how does that get instilled in the people and the stories, right? So if you think about your time in Osawatomie, what I guess what do you carry with you to today through today? What do you carry with you? What major character qualities do you think you still have today because of Osawatomie?
oh, that's a big question.
Yeah, I know. Really,
Ah,
I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. Um, Man, character qualities. Oh man. I feel like that's just like a whole lot of things that you learn in throughout, elementary, middle school, high school, all those things is especially in sports, a big talk is always about character. My dad always talked about character, it's not just who you are in front of other people, but it's who you are behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Um, and gosh, I don't know. I feel like just Osawatomie in general. Gosh, I mean, so if I think about like the people, probably that made the most impact at Osawatomie on me would have been, I mean, a lot of the teachers, and in general, that's just going to be like a lot of what it is, and
Right.
coaches. So anywhere from um, like middle school with Mrs. Ganabin and Coach French was the middle school PE teacher at the time.
Yeah.
Um, so a lot of those again the dream big things, the like just be be a good person and treat others the way you want to be treated, and um, being they always also drove home community in general. I feel like, a lot of those
Yes.
coaches did. So, I mean, Coach Madden was very much that way too. And just being supportive of each other. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like there was always that side of things of just doing your job and whatnot.
So you speak about community, is it those ideals that you got from your coaches that drove you to get a part of what you were like student council at KU, the SAC program, I guess is what you called it. But like knowing that you're going to do a lot of like volunteer work or something. I think I read like 145 hours that year or something like that. It's just an
I don't
insane
even remember,
amount,
but
which is absolutely wild to me. But um, like, would you credit your time in Osawatomie as giving you a community focused
yeah, yeah,
drive?
I was a part of, the like student council at Osawatomie as well. So I mean there's a lot of that, giving back and different things like, one of my favorite things in high school was oh gosh, what did they call it? It was where we camped outside for the homeless and then raised money for the homeless.
Oh, that's
Uh,
cool.
I can't remember what it was called. I don't know if they do it anymore, I guess, but
I've never
uh,
heard of it.
if you've never heard of it, probably not.
No.
But we used to basically like, because I actually think they maybe stopped it my senior year, and we just still did it in the gym actually in Osawatomie. But we would go over to Paola and sleep in boxes one night in the fall, and like raise money and awareness and food. Maybe it was like food for the food pantry.
Okay.
So there's like lots of different things like that that I was a part of in Osawatomie that definitely probably started with my wanting to give back to the community.
That's awesome. I absolutely love that. So you've had several coaches. throughout your time in high school that have had an impact? I'm getting the impression that you're the kind of person that I wouldn't say like you're not going to play favorites or do any of that other stuff, and I'm never going to ask you to do that. But one thing is like you seem like somebody who is looking to take the good from that situation, right? So like each coach that you've had, you strike me as somebody who like your Miss French telling you to dream big or whatever it may be. Like you take a piece from each one of your coaches. Madden was your track coach, right?
Hmm.
And so I know him from working here, right?
Yes.
We worked together for 4 years, maybe 5 years before he retired. What do you get from him? Because I have an answer about that because right, Madden's a legend, obviously.
Yeah.
What was it from Coach Madden that you think you took with you moving forward?
Man, Coach Madden was just a good human in general. So I mean, there's so many good things you could take from him.
Yeah, right.
But man, I mean, like his positivity is a good one. You know, always finding the positive in a situation. Um, you know, one of my favorite memories with Coach Madden is before like big meets, especially like the state track meet. Like he would pray with me, and he's like part of FCA. So you know, a huge part of like the Christian faith aspect of my life too. He was a big part of, um, but yeah. So I mean, gosh, there's so many things. But yeah, probably just his positivity in general, and just like life's gonna hand you things. It's how you respond to those, and um, yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it. All right. So, um, man, I'm not going to go through all of this at all, but I do want you to, I do want to share this. And I don't know if you even know this or not, but as far as stats go, when it comes to basketball, one of the coolest things is that you're number one in rebounds and you're number one in block shots. And so I read that and I go, oh, well, clearly she's 6'3", right? So how
Close.
tall? You don't ask a lady how tall she is, but if I have to ask, how tall are you?
6 foot.
Hey, there it is. I was only 3 inches off. That's not bad. Cool. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Yeah,
That
no, the height
absolutely
definitely
helps,
helps.
especially
Like
in
I said,
volleyball.
you didn't get to know my dad, but yeah, he's 6'6". So
Hey, yeah,
my
okay.
brothers are 6'5", 6'4", 6'2". I'm 6 foot. So
We would all see eye to eye. I as well am 6'5". So yeah, that's fantastic. And I'm just looking at all this, like, man, I'm just floored with like how much you accomplish, and when you see these accomplishments on paper, you kind of go, like how does one person, accomplish all of this stuff? And hearing you talk about being in student council and FCA and some other things, what is it about, like, you know you're in class, you got straight A's, obviously, probably, I would imagine. You're three sports, and you're also in four or five different clubs. Like, was it just a matter of staying busy so you weren't bored, or was it like your dad said you have to do XYZ, you got to do something every day after school, or like what drove you to do all of the extracurriculars?
No, they did. My parents never made me do anything. I think it was, well, part of it was seeing what my older brothers were a part of. I think part of it was probably drove me there, but I'm also just, I just buy in easy, I think, too. I like to be part of things. The sense of community, is a huge thing
Yeah.
for me, and just, yeah, just being around people and a part of things I really enjoyed, and you learn so much through different things too. I mean, I learned so much in student council, from like responsibility of having to manage. I don't even know what my I think I was I don't even know what my what I was when I was there, but having to make phone calls. And I think we hosted the student council, like league student council, one year. So
Oh
like
yeah.
responsibility, having to like ask for or call for speakers to see if they could come and talk, and different things. I That was like, a huge thing. I was also part of a newspaper, and I really enjoyed that too. I mean, you just learn such a different side of things that, I never would have been able to learn without it. So
Right.
there's just I think that there's so many learning opportunities being a part of different things and different people. You learn so much from different people, and each of those like brought me different friends, like each of those activities. So
Yeah.
I mean, a cool aspect I
So
think of all.
you wouldn't have been pegged in this one friend group from like middle school all the way through. You probably ventured out and mingled with all sorts of different groups.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know that I would. Yeah, I had like a certain friend group. There are some people that I hung out with more probably than others, but depending probably more on the time of the year.
Oh,
Uh,
you got your basketball friends in the winter, you got your
I mean,
track friends in the spring.
it's a small, well, yeah, and it's a small town, so a lot
Right.
of the people that are playing volleyball or playing basketball. We didn't really have like a ton of girls go out for track, so that was definitely like a smaller group and a different, yeah, different time of year for different friends. Or being, I guess my class didn't really have many girls that participated in track in general. So a lot of it was like meeting the younger girls, and I got closer with them during, that part of the season.
Sure. All right, two more things and then I'll let you go. And again, thank you so much for giving me your time.
No problem.
I am the head coach of the flag football team at our school. We
Hmm,
just started, this is our
love that.
first year. We just finished our first season. And I want to ask you because clearly you're one of the greatest female athletes ever to walk the halls of OHS. You're in the inaugural Hall of Fame class. So I would be really kicking myself if I didn't take this opportunity and be a little bit selfish. But if you could say something, what advice, I guess, would you give to my team? Uh, we're starting our off season, getting that going after Christmas break. But what advice would you give to my girls playing flag football?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I have so much advice I feel like I could give from my sports background, but gosh, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just like buying in and um, just do going for it. I mean, and if you have goals, I mean, I think that's a huge part is like you got to set some goals. Like, what are your goals for the next season? That's how you stay motivated. So, speaking of motivation,
Yeah,
uh, from earlier, but yeah, setting goals, I mean, I think is the way that you stay motivated. Um, so whatever those goals may be, and then setting what's going to get, thinking about like what's going to get you there. So in the off season, that's being in the weight room, it's practicing whatever, position you play or whatever is going to make you better in that position. Um, and that's yeah. And as far as like the advice for the off season, it's just kind of that part of it is such a big part of it. Making your goals and figuring out what's going to get you there and what do you have to do that.
yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. All right. So one thing I ask all of my kids, my students, we do like a reflection log thing once a week, and I ask for a rose, a thorn, and a seed from the week. Rose being what was the best thing that happened this week, or thorn, what was the worst thing that happened this week, and a seed, what is something that you've learned. So, um, I want to ask that of you about your time at OHS. What was your rose, your thorn, and your seed? What's something that sticks out as being super positive? What's your biggest thorn? And what's the one, like I just say the one thing? Clearly, we've talked about tons of stuff that you've learned, but what is something that you've learned that you took away from your time in high school?
Yeah. Oh man. I feel like there's there's so many different aspects of like roses I could say that were like such a good thing that I got from high school. Um, I mean, I feel like a lot of I would, if I can just lump it into like my sports in general, and Osawatomie was a big rose, just from my teammates I had and the things that they taught me, to all the coaches that I had, just so many good ones. I didn't mention Coach Blanchett yet, but he was a really good, he now coaches at Baldwin, but, and
Oh,
boys,
cool.
but
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, he was a great basketball coach, coached all 4 years that I was there. Um, and so, I mean, between just the coaches, the teammates I had, I learned a lot. And I mean, I wouldn't be the person I was without all of that. So,
right.
uh, A thorn.
Yeah.
Oh,
What was the worst thing about high school? The one, like the bottomless, the worst of the worst, the worst thing that happened.
oh man. I mean, when you go to a small school, I feel like you always have those things, small town things that kind of creep up.
Like everybody remembers that time you got arrested. Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not,
don't think
I'm
I
not
would.
saying you
Yeah,
ever got arrested. Like I'm not starting rumors by any
no.
stretch.
Uh,
No, no. Word travels fast, right? So that
yes,
like that small town, everybody knows like seemingly, right? Everybody knows everything. Uh
yeah. So I mean, part of my seed in general was probably just since I was so motivated and I bought into everything, that wasn't always looked at as a positive
oh, okay.
among peers. So I think that was probably a little bit of a seed or a
Thorn.
thorn
Yeah.
here and there. I mean, the positive always outweighs the negative,
Oh yeah.
but if I had to come up with something, that was probably something there. And then a seed. I mean, something I learned. Gosh, I mean, the biggest thing I probably ever learned from Osawatomie, I mean, back to Mrs. French and dream big and never putting limitations on yourself and your character speaks louder than anything else. I think those are probably, yeah, the biggest thing I probably learned there.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Taylor. You're fantastic. You are awesome. I really appreciate getting an opportunity to talk with you, getting to just to kind of hear your perspective on things. And hopefully, I don't know, fingers crossed, I'm not going to make you commit to it, but hopefully we get to see you.
I'll be there.
All right. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah.
I
So,
can't miss out on that, so
yeah. Okay,
good
good. So
excuse to come back.
I will absolutely meet you then, and we look forward to that night. It's going to be. I'm really excited. No idea what to expect. Right? It's the inaugural year, so
Right.
we're just all going to hang out and celebrate your success and all the great things that have come along with it. Taylor, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Good talking to
absolutely.
you.
All right. Have a great day. We'll see you.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye.